We've met, but it's
that's all it is.
We met. This Chris Maloney. You were on the roast of Christopher Walken was on it. Who did you roast years ago?
No, I was right. That was the roast we were writing for when Belzer.
Richard Belzer. We were writing for Belzer.
Was hosting it.
Right. Who were they roasting? Chris Maloney was on that roast.
Oh, wait, who the fuck did? No, Paul Schaefer hosted it, and they were roasting Belzer.
Okay. Do you remember the Richard Belzer roast, Chris?
No, I don't remember any of those years.
You don't?
No.
Wow, were you doing bad things?
Not that I should remember these years either.
He was in studio when you were in the morning before.
Oh, maybe you were. Okay.
Yes, he was in studio.
You might have
he
been.
came in with another guy when the movie was coming out.
Oh, the guy with the movie. You remember?
That's right.
No, what's the
man with the camera?
Yes.
Listen, you remember. I don't remember. I remember he was in studio. I don't remember who the guy was.
Are you saying I don't remember?
Yes. Do you know Rich?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Right.
We don't have time, so I try to cut off a couple letters.
Smart. You cut off syllables.
Keep it moving, boys. Keep it moving.
Smart.
Are we on right now?
We are.
Oh my god.
This is the
Yeah,
show.
we are on.
Alright,
That's what I was trying to figure out. If you don't remember the roast, it was the Belzer roast. You're right,
Yes.
and it was everybody from the show that went up and roasted him and walk in. I bothered Christopher Walken for a picture going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I got pictures of him with pee stains.
Do you really?
Yes.
Good for you.
In the bathroom, I had pee stains.
You don't remember this?
Memorabilia.
Yeah.
That's what that's called.
Is that weird to you? Do you realize that like there are fans of yours that are like, oh my god, I got a Christopher Meloni picture with pee stains on it.
Oh,
This
they
is
got
great.
more than that.
Is that right?
I mean, I did 5 years of Oz. They've got a lot of stains.
Was it weird doing those scenes? I mean, I know you've been asked before, and it's a very basic question, but is it like, because if you have to gear up to kiss somebody, obviously it's just one of those things as an actor you got to do. With the first time you do it, is it really difficult?
No, because it's like gearing up for a football game. It's like you got to go across the middle. You got to go across the middle.
That's true, but I'm not worried I'm going to come during a football game.
I'm going to need a bigger jock because I'm aroused right now, going over the middle.
So the first time did you talk to? The first time I kissed a woman, I've only done like 2 on-screen kisses, but I talked to, it was Nina Hartley, the porn star for this independent comedy, and I asked her, like, do we use tongue? I didn't know what we were supposed to do or what was the process.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing that kiss, do you?
No, stay with you and Nina now.
Yeah, why?
So how'd
Because it
that
was
go?
a girl.
No, no, because it was she did porn, so I wanted to be extra respectful. Because I figured if I did it wrong and she was a porn girl, she'd be like, "What, you think I do porn? You could fucking treat me like this?"
Right, yeah.
So I walked up to her before the shoot. I'm like, "Nina, I've never kissed a girl on screen. Do we use tongue?" This was her dressing room. And she goes, "Come here, baby." And she made out with me in the dressing room. And then during the shoot, she's taking my hand and she's putting it on her breast. And she's like, you want to. And my hands are on her ass. She's like, we're supposed to like each other. So she was so great.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was legitimately turned on. Like, she was really sexy.
That's how Lee Turgeson in Oz was with me.
That's what I want to believe.
I mean,
as a fan.
absolutely
Yeah.
like that.
You guys you guys kissed a little and got
He's
used to
known
it.
as the Nina Hartley of actors. Just saying.
But kissing a man's just got to be, again, it's one of those things you do, and I've seen other actors do it. Like, I think Will Smith didn't want to do it, though.
When he was young.
Yeah, it was
He said later he
6
regretted
Degrees of
it.
Separation.
Yes.
He did regret not doing it.
Mm-hmm. He said when he was young, he was just like, it was an ego decision, and it was sort of like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And then as he grew up, and I guess the world changed as well, he was like, that was a stupid call on my part. I should have done it.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Have you been asked to do things you didn't want to do in scripts or even do lines of dialogue?
Or in reality?
Yeah. Yeah, in reality. I'd love
Yeah.
to.
It's called being here.
How do you think I got to where I am in my career?
Yeah.
What was the question?
Do you ever have things that they want you to do that you don't want to do?
Yeah, but that only has to do with well, I don't understand. Like, you have a character doing X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden you have him doing potato pancake. I mean, that's not in part of this equation. I don't know why this character all of a sudden is doing this. So just explain it to me and I'll do it if I can understand it. And that's how it is. It's almost rarely, or if it's gratuitous, like, like I love a nice violent movie as much as the next guy, but it has to be logical as opposed to kind of that bloodbath, just gore for gore's sake. I'm not into that. Doesn't really appeal to me. That's how I feel.
Unless it's some of the beauty of it. Like, you watch a John Woo movie. And
Well, yeah, that's the
all
poetry
violence.
and the ballet, and you know that the camera's going to be taking over so much of this work. I mean, look, when you have these 2 assassins doing all these cartwheels, shooting at each other, everything is mayhem, and all of a sudden they wind up gun to gun in each other's face, and neither pulls the trigger. You're like, oh, okay.
And there's a blind girl who doesn't know what's happening. Did you the killer in The Killer? There's a blind girl, and they name each other Mickey Mouse and Dumbo, and they do something, and they're both pointing guns in each other's faces, and the blind girl's like, "What's happening?" And they're both trying to talk calmly so that she doesn't know that they're about to kill each other. It was such a, but you're right, there is like a ballet to it.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit beyond just being violent.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the freedom of like, because you go from Oz,
Yeah.
where everybody knows you as Chris Keller, to Law and Order, where everybody knows you as Stabler. Do you like the fact that now that it's been a few years, as much as people will still associate you with those characters because they're still watching the shows, it's not like something that you're actively doing week to week. You're not in their living room week to week, so it's a different deal. I feel like getting away from doing a regular show, since you've been working steadily, would mean that you have more of like a life and you get to be you more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, SVU had a big footprint in my life, and I've worked intentionally and not without great respect and love for the stuff that I've done before. But, you know, I'm on a show now called Underground on WGN America. You know, I'm here with Snatched, the movie with, you know, Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer, and which is a comedy. I got the second season of Wet Hot American Summer coming out.
Oh, they are doing another season.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that'll be coming out in the summer. And so, you know, those things, that's great, but I'm always kind of like pushing forward and, you know, going out on these, you know, little junkets
Yeah.
to say, hey, this is what's up next. You know, I hope you continue to follow me.
Right.
You know, but I recognize it as, look, they're rerun 24/7 around the world. So, you know.
I'm interested in the fact that you're a pilot. But that to me is amazing to take. Like, there's only a couple of celebrities I can think of: yourself, Travolta, and Bruce Dickinson, who can actually fly. You could fly a commercial jet, right?
I can fly my jet because every jet, you know, kind of has their own little buttons, bells and whistles that you have to know the sequence to push them in and all that stuff. So I'm type rated for my particular jet.
Do you still have to audition, or do you, because of your experience on everything, or do you never just get offered it? And
No,
you got to go in
I
and read
auditioned
still?
for Snatched. Yeah, I went on in there and I did the character Roger for the director, and he laughed a lot, and I was like, I think that's a good sign. But you know, they've done that before and never got the call.
I get that reaction when I audition for dramas.
Yeah.
But that's part of doing different stuff, right? Like you have to audition because otherwise you're just, if you're not auditioning, then you're getting that same sort of typecast role that people know you from.
There you go. That's a great example. I mean, you know, if you want, it's like anything in life. You want something, you have to continually fight for it because people, especially in this business, they see you in a certain way, and they also recognize that. Well, you know, the audience kind of knows them in a certain way. So, you know, I started out. I got my first breaks in sitcoms when sitcoms were popular, you know, 30 years ago. And so people always knew me as, oh, that kind of lovable, lunk, funny guy. And it took a couple of years to all of a sudden do a little bit of drama stuff, and people recognized me as that. And soon all of a sudden you got kind of typecast for the drama guy. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So have you had any real problems while you were flying? I'm fascinated by anybody that volunteers to fly. Have you had any like close calls up there? Any real issues?
Well, you know, they're close calls only to the degree of what your knowledge is. So, you know, meaning, you know, I flew into a rainstorm one time when I was only 4 months deep into my training. And, you know, that is a cataclysmic event.
It is.
You know, people can, you know, people have accidents that way.
Let me ask you: were you instrument rated at that point? Like, 'cause they said JFK Jr. wasn't necessarily instrument rated, so he couldn't.
Yeah, those were a lot of bad decisions. But yeah, I was not instrument rated. I was working towards it. So you know, I flew into something that was above my pay grade.
Okay.
And so, you know, all along the way, I've bumped into stuff that caused the things to tighten and pores to open, and really the heart to pound. And but I was able to get out of it. And in retrospect, you realize, that was just enough challenge to scare me, to make a big impression, but it wasn't, you know, just so far above my pay grade that I got hurt.
What scared you? Like when you go into a rainstorm, it's obviously bumpy, but as the pilot, when you fly into a rainstorm, what's scary about it?
Well, in this particular one, because it was almost like an optical illusion. I was looking into the distance going, God, you know, I think that's rain, like way in the distance, like, you know, 200 miles. I was just like, oh, and then all of a sudden, it's like I flew through a car wash. it's just going, and I was going, oh my God, what have I done? And I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, let's calm down. And, I was sitting there going, do I do a 180 and fly?
And go back.
Go back. Do I fly through? And I just thought, this is so intense. And I was looking at my little radar, and it wasn't picking up on my little radar thing. That was weird. So I just thought, if I keep going, I'm feeling that it's not that long. So anyway, it lasted about 5 minutes, which is
a long 5 minutes.
It's the longest 5 minutes you'll ever have, because all you hear is the engine, and you hear everything. Your senses become alive.
What size plane was it?
That was it was a Saratoga, actually the same plane that JFK was in.
Oh,
But was it? So the thing was, they say you can become disoriented in clouds or at night.
Yes.
It's hard to tell what's up and
you're
what's
upside
down,
down,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Then that's the issue. That's why you get an instrument rating, because when you have no visual cues, you stuff your head down into all those dopey little instruments that you see in front of you, and every one of those instruments is telling you a story. And you just have to rely on those instruments, and it's not one instrument. You have to do the scan. You just your eyes are constant. It's exhausting. You're constantly just scanning the instruments, making sure your speed's correct, your wings are level, your altitude is right. That's all.
So it's not instincts. It's like, I know, like, the science behind this is the speed I'm supposed to be going at. This is where the altitude is supposed to be. It's not like when you're driving and you kind of look out the window and just see the other guys driving.
Here's the thing about driving. Driving is, you're just going. It's a linear movement.
Right.
It's not up down.
Right.
So that's the trick to it all. So if you're flying blind, and all of a sudden your engine starts revving kind of high, well, you're probably nosediving down. Because you're picking up speed.
Have you had that happen?
In my training sessions with
Sure.
a blindfold, a little cap over my eyes, and again, you want to talk about your pores opening up.
What's the cap on your eyes for?
So you don't look outside the window, because you train. You'll train during very beautiful days, but they want to give you the impression that, okay, it's really dark out, or you're in clouds. So you can't see. You can't rely on visual cues. You're forced to look at your instruments.
So they want you to use the instruments. And
Yeah.
So when you went into that rain, were you hitting tremendous turbulence, or was it not bad?
No, thank God.
No.
No.
Does that scare you as the pilot? I always freak out, but I'm like, the pilots are probably comfortable. But are the pilots nervous during turbulence?
Well, yeah. Well, only.
Fuck.
No. Hold on. I'm going to take it back. No, because I just went to. My worst turbulence, meaning where it jacked me out of the seat, my headphones went flying.
Wow.
You're disoriented for a moment. I mean, I've had a couple of those turbulent times.
Wow.
But you just don't see it's like clear air turbulence where you just drop.
Yeah. You just have wind shear and just bad.
What's the desire to fly? Like, I couldn't imagine me ever wanting to fly an airplane.
Me neither. I don't know. John Travolta took me up in his plane, and I had never had any inclination.
It's a 707, right?
That's one of them.
Oh, there's more than one.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he lives in an aviation community. I
Yeah.
mean, he's locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the money?
Where did I?
No, him.
Oh, him. He's John Travolta. Come on, man.
That's all right.
But he inspired you to want to fly?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't get it out of my mind.
So what do you just like? Do you just know him? Have you known him for a long time? And he's like, come up in my plane one day?
No, we met and then, got to be friends, and he invited me and my family down to his place, and, it was great hanging out with him and Kelly, and I was just enamored with this plane in his front yard. and I kept asking questions, and he just said, well, let me take you up. He was gracious enough to
That's
take me
right.
up.
He's right in his yard, right? Where
Yeah.
he just kind of walks outside and can get onto his
So
plane.
he's got a runway in his yard where it's just like,
Yeah. It's a
if-
community, yeah, and you just instead, you've heard of a carport.
Sure.
He has a plane port, literally, because it's the Florida sun, and the big overhang to keep the plane out of the sun as
So
best
you're just
it can.
barbecuing one minute, and the next minute he's like, yeah, let me take you up on
Yeah.
Wow.
How long does it take him? And does he have a crew that helps him get the plane? Because you have to do all kinds of instrument checks and stuff when you
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
So does he have people that are doing that for him and helping him, like co-pilots, or is he doing all of it himself?
Well, yeah, on this particular plane, yeah, but he's got a pretty cool infrastructure. I mean, it really is set up as a tiny airport. He's got all the trappings. It's
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's really an aviation nut.
Well, he'll fly
And he'll
like
admit it.
legitimate.
He'd fly for Qantas.
He'll
for a
fly
little
real
bit.
routes with real passengers. Like he's qualified to the highest level, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's got a 707 and a 747 type rating.
So when he says, "Oh, John says, okay, I'm going to go up in the plane. I'll take you for a ride." How long does it take that whole process to happen to get ready? Is it a half hour? Is it 45 minutes?
The plane?
No, but for him to do all the checks and for him.
Nothing. It was nothing. We jumped in. He went beep bop boop with all the things, and just taxied on out. It probably took 15 minutes.
And what did you do? Just fly around for a little while?
Yeah, we flew around. We did figure eights. My wife was on the ground, and she said it looks so cool. She said you look like you were going 500 miles an hour.
Were you scared?
No, it was fascinating. I was fascinated by it.
I want to
So
go
much
into one of
fun.
those simulators where it looks like you're. Because I just watched Sully, and it's amazing how one movie can show the same plane incident 8 times.
That's what I said when I watched it. I'm like, obviously there was nothing going on with this dude because he's watched the crash in real time at least 4 times in that movie.
But it was still interesting though to watch. I just wish it was in 3D, and to watch the simulations look fun. Like I want to go into a simulator.
Don't you get nauseous on virtual roller coasters?
I did, yeah, but in a simulator I might not, because I've flown so many times.
How many hours of training does it take before you can get a license?
That's up to you. It took me 400.
Now, is that standard? Is that low or high?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's a lot of hours.
It was 2 years.
Oh,
so
okay,
I was
that's a long
flying,
time.
Yeah, 2 years it took me.
and you get like a lot of recognition from the I always forget, the gay community, LGBT, LBGT, I don't know what it is, for doing work and for I guess fighting for the cause.
I'd say yeah. Yeah.
Is
I
it
do.
outside
I feel
acting
very
stuff?
connected to him.
Okay, is it because of the roles you played, or because of you were unashamed to do certain things as an actor?
Well, I think Oz was a big deal because I think Oz, was one of the, if not the first show to show unflinchingly, 2 men in love or in lust, however you want to coin the relationship. And I
Probably
think
depending
it was,
on the episode.
Yeah.
depending on the episode. And also I think, and this is what I think they appreciated, was it wasn't that classic effeminate,
You're just a
gay.
person.
It was just,
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
guy,
the guy, yeah.
and this is what it is, right?
It is what it is, right?
And I think they appreciated that.
That you didn't caricature it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I was reading that you've gotten awards. So in Snatched, you're in Amy's movie. You play. Who do you play?
I play Roger, a mysterious stranger that they meet deep in the Amazon jungle.
Okay.
That sounds perfect.
I know you
Yeah.
see how my voice goes. Yeah.
Get very sexy if you want the
Snatch,
truth.
yes, thank you.
I believe you.
And that comes out when? That comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
And the premiere is when?
Wednesday night, I'm going to premiere it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No. I'm
You haven't.
afraid.
Do you get really? Before they say you have to go too. Before we let Chris, do you get worried watching yourself?
I don't like watching myself.
You don't?
No, I really and I hate that I don't like watching myself. I find it indulgent somehow, and I also find it unproductive.
But do you, when you watch
Right.
yourself, do you not like the work, or do you go like, I don't like my job, the job I did?
I don't like the we all have the angel and the devil. All I got is the fucking devil on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what a
Yeah.
bad choice.
2 devils, they're both putting their
Like,
dicks
shut
in my
up.
ear. Yeah.
Just enjoy yourself. Will you, for crying out loud?
Let me ask you before you go. Was there more sexual tension between you and Mariska Hargitay or you and Lee Turgeson? Oh. Behind the scenes. Where was there more sexual tension? Because these kind of couples on screen,
I
it
know.
spills over.
I would say me and Goldie Hawn.
Okay, then we got to see this movie.
Yes.
All right. Well, good luck with it. It's Chris_Meloni on Twitter.
Hey, yeah.
Are you verified? You are. I saw your thing. You had the little pilot picture as your
Yeah,
your
there you
avatar.
go.
Okay.
In case you didn't know, I'm a pilot.
What made
That's how I found out, though. Was looking at your. I didn't know until I saw your Twitter avatar.
What was a bigger deal when you got your pilot license or when you got verified on Twitter?
Oh.
Twitter,
That's
right?
That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Twitter,
caught me.
yeah.
You caught me. I'm so obvious.